There we go. Thank you everybody for coming out to Eureka. We appreciate it. This is our third Eureka, and we're really excited for you guys to experience what we have in store for you tonight. So, Eureka's mission is to demystify science in a way that is relatable, educational, and entertaining. And audience members are encouraged to answer our guest scientist questions. So we will have some fun prizes for you. All right. We are really excited to be introducing the guest scientist. Our guest scientist is Dr. Gregory Tranah. He's a professor at the California Pacific Medical Center Research Institute, and also an adjunct professor in the Department of Epidemiology and Biostats at the University of California, San Francisco. So he has extensive experience and training in molecular epidemiology of aging and age-related diseases. His current work involves the genetics of aging and age-related traits, and he is engaged in research to discover the genes associated with longevity. So he's trying to make you live forever. Yeah. Get ready to discuss healthy aging with epidemiologist, geneticist, and aging expert, Dr. Gregory Tranah! Let's move on. I don't want that photo up there. All right, and so our comedians have traveled internationally. They've done a bunch of great work, making people laugh their asses off. And so our comedians tonight are Kevin Whittinghill, Ron Chapman, and Samantha Gilwhite. Woo! All right, so we'll go ahead and jump right into our first question. And we'll ask the comedians first. What is the difference between lifespan and health span?
Well, difference between health span and lifespan? Well, I have a lifespan, I believe. I'm getting close. But I'm not always healthy during it, because I enjoy my life.
Yeah, I think lifespan is how long you live, and health span is how long you live well.
Wow, that was really thoughtful. What's the difference between lifespan and health span? They both sound like bad spin classes to me. I don't know. Lifespan and health span, every Tuesday, you guys are going to live forever. That's fun.
No one's gonna live forever.
Definitely not Kevin, since he said his lifespan was coming close. Didn't you hear that? Way to start this off on a boom.
I need this lecture.
Let's pretend, how long will Kevin's lifespan be based on his health span? I think that's the real question.
So let's ask our audience. So what do you guys think? What's the difference between lifespan and health span? Anyone?
About 5 points on a Scrabble board.
There we go.
Get that guy a mic. He thinks he's your place.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get him a seat.
Your lifespan on this panel is over.
Anyone want to take a guess? Raise your hand, and we'll give a call. You can earn a nice prize.
Don't be shy. I have a stupid answer.
This audience doesn't want to win. They're not voting for Trump.
Let's
Nobody has an idea? There you go. I see somebody. Oh, you were scratching your neck, then you raised your hand. I saw it. Too late.
Being hungry versus not living as long.
Huh.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
Looks like
Did you say being hungry versus not living as long?
We got somebody up there.
The difference between the end of your health span to the end of your lifespan is basically like the point at which your telomeres say, I give the fuck up, let's just enjoy the rest of the shit.
someone write a book here.
Do I get to pick a winner now?
You get to determine whether or not the prize is worth that answer.
Can I pick any answer here?
Or you can just say, not worthy, I'm going to teach you guys.
Well, so first, Ron got it right.
Ron got it
Thanks,
right.
everybody. Good night.
Fucking show off.
And
next I have to say, so we can talk about telomeres later, but actually the hunger question actually got kind of to the point, and this topic will come up later, so foreshadowing. All right, so I'm going to give it to the hunger one. Just we'll see later.
That's the one I like the best. Oh, just, since I'm also a scientist here tonight.
Yeah, I like your glasses.
So it was prize-worthy?
They're fake.
Prize-worthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hunger
right.
answer?
Oh, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
what was our hunger answer? Raise your hand. Raise your hand right
All
up here.
right.
All right, we're going to ask you to come up for the prize because the prize is an interactive one, and we would love for you to.
We're only gonna reduce your lifespan by like 30 seconds.
Come on up.
So that's it. The telomere one was good. So we'll get back to this stuff, but the hunger one had this foreshadowing.
All right.
I had to acknowledge.
So we have a special prize.
It's a safety yo-yo.
So
Public speaking.
So our,
You wanna show it to everybody?
So our special prize is
A fleshlight.
Anti-aging. Anti-aging lips. You put them on and you.
Good sex. Good life. So wait, what is it? Can you repeat it again?
Yeah.
Into the mic? Hey, Alan, can you repeat that into the
Of
mic?
course. So they're anti-aging lips. So you throw them in your mouth and then you go and you practice so that you can do sexual activities better.
Is this proven by clinical trial?
I can't bring that into my home. Like, I have children. Like, I don't want them to see this.
Why don't you? There you go.
So weird.
Guys,
So weird.
I think you look very young for like the Folsom Street Fair.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, you just got instant Botox.
that was very pretty. Where are those from?
So let's have Greg jump into the explanation.
All right, so you got it right, Ron. That was totally it, right there. And so here's an example. Lifespan. On the left, we have Jean Calment, 122 years old, the oldest documented human on Earth. Right there.
She has no idea where she is. No clue. Look at her.
And so, Ellen, I have to say, like, you
Don't wanna
actually,
live long.
you mischaracterized me a little bit in that wanting people to live forever. That's interesting, but it's not the goal. The goal is over here.
Yeah.
This guy, the world's oldest marathon runner. He ran the London Marathon at 100 years old. That's health span. So when we do aging research, we're interested in you being really healthy up until you die.
Wait, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So the goal is to run marathons when we're old. Is
It's
that
some
what
people's
you're?
goal.
What if I don't like running marathons now? Just saying.
Can you wear a turban?
What?
Can you wear a turban?
Not this.
She's wearing
easy
fake
place.
But the idea is that you're active and healthy the whole time,
Right.
right up into the end. So who cares if you lived 150 or 200 or whatever it is that these kind of like sci-fi
Yeah.
futurists talk about,
Yeah.
if you're going to be sick for like 100 of those years.
I'm just
Right.
saying the idea of doing a marathon when I'm 70 makes me want to fucking die.
So
Well, you can improve. But you can improve.
I guess
So, Greg,
not my running, dude.
yeah, Greg, what are some of the things that can help us live healthy lives until we are 100?
Well, some of the things they're actually gonna come up during this, so I don't want to give away all the answers here. But certainly the obvious things like staying active, mentally and physically,
Smoking
Right,
marijuana.
so-
eating well, everything in moderation.
What he's saying is regular sex and talking while doing it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of the obvious things, and what these guys are saying here. And I think we're going to learn a lot during this talk that's going to answer that question. So I don't want to.
Yeah, let's
Are they dating, by the way?
She's no longer alive.
Oh.
I'm sorry to bum you out.
If you get old enough, you probably won't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Looks like they made that number out of her gums. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that?
It's a
So,
cake you have to eat.
but one thing I do have to say is, Does anybody here have parents who've lived over 100?
Oh, you're all
Parents, how
bad
about
genes.
grandparents?
I can't see
Great
anything but
grandparents.
parents, your parents.
How old do you think
Grandparents.
these people are? They look like fucking. Maybe you have freakishly old
Or
parents.
did your parents, no, good point. So did your parents have parents who lived over 100?
Yeah, we have
My grandpa's
some.
101.
Okay, so because,
100, okay.
He's also a dick.
that might be a good way to live a long time.
I thought being
How many marathons has he run?
But children of these long-lived people actually tend to be healthier. So even if you're not running the marathons, if you have a grandparent or a parent who's lived this long, you tend to just be healthier. And we think it's genetic, and we don't know what the secret sauce is, but you tend to be healthier.
So it's faked. There's no point to this discussion.
No, there's not, because we're going to solve the rest of it tonight.
Okay, great.
I have another question.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
my family members kind of kick it at like, maybe they make it to late 60s, alcoholism.
You're gonna die tomorrow.
And they live in Garberville. Like, is that all against them? Like,
And nice knowing you.
Okay.
No, we'll fix it tonight.
all right. Okay, thank you.
You sound like every politician I've ever met.
Yes. False promises.
All right.
Just,
so
you can't back that up.
No, but I'm going to get there. No,
There's
we're
no way.
We're going to back it up.
We have another question for the comedians. What is a circadian clock?
I fucking know this one.
Yeah, hold on, audience, hold on.
Circadians, those are little insects that go, and they probably have like a wristwatch.
Do they suck on nipples, Kevin?
If my nipples are present, they probably would. I keep them tender. I think I'm close though.
Circadian clock. Clock. Watch. Watch. Time. Time. Running out. Out. Out of ideas.
Eureka.
Voila.
It's your brain cricket that like is like, oh, it's time to sleep now, bitch, and then you do, and then it's like, oh, but you're hungry at 2 in the morning, but that's gonna throw off my circadian clock. It's not a bomb, just a kid made it. Like, it's totally fine, you know, like, what? It's the thing in your head that's like, I'm up, and I'm asleep now.
Those are the
Oh,
voices
jet
in your
lag.
head, actually.
Yeah, those are the voices in my head.
Sure. Some audience member, yes, let's hear it.
Ugh, brown noser. We know who Miss Know-It-All. We know who her Monty Granger is here.
apple for the teacher?
Yeah.
Wait, let's jump a little bit further. What does this daily biological clock do for us?
So at night your melatonin will go up, and in the morning it'll go down, and it'll also signal hunger hormones and things like that.
Very good.
It's like
Eureka! Woo!
Yeah,
That's
the
like
fleshlight.
exactly what I fucking said. Like, I don't
The
understand.
clock cricket thing was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool.
The cricket thing was awesome?
Yeah, no, that was, can I quote that?
Yeah, you can quote that. Just tag me in it. Like, on
Can
Facebook.
I quote that? That was awesome. And that was the answer. You got it.
That was I got the answer right?
You did.
Oh, fuck. These fake nerd glasses are real working.
So all the prize winners, you're not getting away with not coming up at the end. You'll all have to come up and take a group.
And the
Look how
tenth rule of
excited
Fight
they are.
Club
To
is
put them in. Oh well, yeah, definitely from like Japan.
All right.
It
Okay.
smells like cancer. Plastic.
What does cancer smell like?
I think you should have got like more than one type of item because now everybody knows the prize, and I don't think they're gonna answer any more questions. I know I fucking win it. Oh, you win! Come up on stage in front of everybody and get this weird fucking rubber anus thing for your mouth.
So,
You're stung by a bee.
go ahead.
All right. So every single thing that has ever lived on Earth has a biological rhythm. 4 billion year old cyanobacteria, blue-green algae have a rhythm. Everything has a rhythm. And so This is, we do these studies. We were putting these watches, like Fitbit type things on people 20 years ago and following how their patterns predict how long they're going to live, how healthy they
What a
are.
fucking hipster.
I'm pre-hipster.
She did it.
Pre-hipster.
I had the original Fitbit. I had a pager watch. That's for real. Anyway. It was dope. Shut up.
So this is a
Save your
study of activity. So look, you can see the green bars are when our study participant was moving. You can see sleep in here. But guess what? You can see she woke up a few times during sleep. And these rhythms are our biological rhythms. And very specific things happen during the day and during the night. Physiologically, how your DNA replicates, all sorts of things that we'll get to later in the talk. And I'm not being a politician because I don't want to give away the answers to another question that's going to come up.
I understand it's important not to tell your enemies how you're going to operate.
Right, exactly. But we know, we could tell you from these patterns if you're going to get dementia, how long you're going to live, all sorts of outcomes like this.
What?
Yeah, no, for real.
Okay, so how long is she gonna live?
How can you tell from the patterns, Greg?
Because we know, so we know specific things, like how strong this rhythm is. See how she's got some high peaks and some low lows? Who's got that?
Major laser.
All right.
This could also
So-
be my orgasms. Look at that. If not a good day.
Some of these,
Shut the fuck up.
some of these call it temperature. So having a strong rhythm like this is predictive of living a longer time, but also when you're most active, when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. So people who tend to have more activity later in the day actually don't do so well in our studies. They
So
die
stand-up
sooner.
comedy at night
Night
is
owls
like,
are
I mean, it's a
Right.
super
So-
relaxing
so that's-
activity.
So, I don't want to create alarm here. It's not night owls. It's just normal aging. And so with normal aging, as your rhythm kind of goes crazy, it's people who are becoming later in the day tend to have bad outcomes. We don't know why. And so the next step would be, can we identify those people and move them to a normal activity pattern?
So that would be,
Do you know why they have that activity later in the day?
We don't know.
It's just a spike for no
We don't know,
reason?
and we don't know, and we can control for all sorts of things in our studies, and so it's not like they're more obese, or they smoke more, or drink more, or have less coffee. We can control for all that stuff in our studies. We don't know what it is. It's just a normal breakdown in your rhythm as you age. I mean, we have grandparents, right, who some wake up at really early times in the morning and go to bed early, and some are the other direction. We're not
Just be
sure why
lazy in
yet.
the evening is basically.
Listen, we don't all have grandparents.
No?
Got a lot of hands.
Yes.
Hands, yes, hands.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man.
I have a question. So, is this activity a particular enzyme, or is this physical activity?
So this is movement. This would be what you get off your phone. You know, your phone has an
giving you
actigraph in it.
cancer.
Yeah. Well, if you can keep it.
Greg, it's called actigraphy, right?
It's actigraphy, yeah. So if your phone has an actigraph in it, your Fitbits and Jawbones and all those other things have actigraphs in them. And basically every line is how much that person was moving at this time of day. So this person was having activity throughout the day. And if you average this over many, many, many days, you can see a pattern.
And you live
So-
longer when it's like the top.
When that difference between the top and the bottom is really strong, and you don't have a lot of waking up in the middle of the night, that's good for you.
And we have another, yes, question?
What if you took a pill to chemically induce a healthy pattern? Would that make the person healthier?
Drugs, good idea. Yeah, I recommend.
What about like a strong kush, like at night, you know? Like a,
Well, the cool thing about this is, remember I talked about bacteria having a rhythm too? This is so fundamental to biology, it's really easy to change these. All you need to do is change your light patterns, have bright light during the day, less light at night. When you eat, when you exercise, can totally shift these patterns in one direction or another. Because it's such fundamental biology, you don't even need a drug to do it.
When should
What
you
drugs we
exercise?
But what's that?
When should you exercise and what drugs should you take when you do?
You should exercise fasted. So don't eat anything when you exercise.
Nice.
For real.
So wake up in the morning and work
Wake
out.
up in the exercise in the morning and work out. Because then your body burns fat over other things. For real.
Okay. So
No,
don't-
for real, dude, though, for real.
No, for real.
No, for real. I fast in the morning. I do the no breakfast
You got the
thing.
cricket box.
There.
Greg,
Yeah.
independent of fasting, is it known if morning exercise trumps evening exercise?
I don't know that. Sorry.
Yes.
You're fired, dude. You can't like not know
Yes, I
anything.
did, but I don't know.
What? You're the
I don't know, I don't
scientist
know.
here. Pull some shit out of your ass. What do you think we
Just say
do?
that you know.
Just say a thing.
Yes!
Yep.
I've read studies about how they see patterns of human and circadian rhythm that it's slightly longer than a 24-hour day.
Right.
25 hours.
It's about 20 minutes longer than 24 hours, like on average, across the whole population. But then we have environmental cues that bring it back to 24 hours. Did I just, oh. So you have environmental cues like your job and sleep and light and diet that make it stay at 24 hours. But if you lock people in just darkness for weeks, actually they have 24-hour and 20-minute days. And their circadian rhythm, it's called running. So your circadian rhythm runs away from you.
Is that a justification to lock somebody, say, in your basement? Just to get their circadian rhythm right on point. Just
So they can
help.
stay true to their biology.
Yeah, yeah.
How-
Just embrace the darkness,
Keep
everybody.
it real.
How, I have a very important question. How fucked are people in Alaska? Are they fucked? On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked are they? All right. That was
Yeah,
scientific.
no, that was scientific. So what you get in these, these really northern countries, people get, pretty messed up, and so they've got to black out their windows,
Meth.
or have,
Yeah, meth.
for real,
That's
for
the
real,
drugger side.
for real.
No.
Yeah, or lights, so they can control their environment. But yeah, it's all about controlling your environment up there. Like, you're pretty messed up.
Yeah, I know. Have you been there?
Entire state.
Yeah, question?
So I've read that maybe 19th century police actually have 2 sleep cycles, like they go to sleep early at night and then they wake up in the middle of the night and they have an active period and then they go back to sleep. How
Yeah,
does that
yeah.
affected, our health span and lifespan?
Yeah,
I
I've
read
heard
the
this.
same thing, dude.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I've heard that it's based on diaries
Headline.
from before electricity and stuff. And so they called that waking in the middle of the night the vigilance period, where people get up and be active and go back to sleep. Right? What? Why are you laughing?
It's just like the vigilance period. Like, I just imagine our ancestors just being like, shit! Tigers! Where are they? Okay.
Back to sleep. So yeah, it's hard to know. I mean,
It's a perfect act out of a
No, it was perfect. That was a beautiful act
No one's
out.
ever seen a Cro-Magnon man.
I was trying to think of a modern
vigilant.
equivalent of that. It would probably be like, erection? Behind me? All right. Midnight one. What? That guy got it.
I think it was the erection comment.
Erections are funny. I thought that's why we were here.
Well, then you'll think I'm hilarious.
Ooh, that sounds like some second sleep activity or something. Vigilance activity.
That is the sexiest
Yeah.
pickup line ever. You'll think I'm hilarious.
How cool is it to just shout out, I have a boner in the middle of it? Is it like shouting fire in the middle of a theater?
That's like late activity that will reduce your lifespan.
Yeah. That guy's gonna die real
just do
soon.
that early in the day.
Yeah, I always have
Oh, a damn good health span though.
my morning. Coffee, boner, fasting, workout, sleep. Done.
Listen, I was at this show, and there was a scientist, and he said you should fuck me this morning. In the morning.
Fasted.
You don't get to eat.
You don't get to eat.
Nobody eats.
Yes, so do you want to address
So with sleep, we focus a lot on sleep quality rather than sleep duration. So if you're getting really good sleep through the night, that's probably more important than how long you're sleeping through the night.
Stop the motion.
Yeah.
How do you actually measure really good sleep versus really long sleep? Because you know all those pills are like, do you fall asleep and stay asleep? You know, like.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of those pills just make you forget that you had a bad night of sleep. No, seriously, it's not.
Shut the, it's like the Men in Black shit for in pill form.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like that. And so we can measure it because they do these EEGs so that you can measure brain waves during sleep, and you can tell if somebody's going through all the different sleep cycles throughout the night, or if they're spending all their time in light sleep. So if you're spending all your time in light sleep, that's no good. You need this deep sleep.
So you got to get those cycles in.
You need to get all the cycles. So
How many cycles you need, man?
5.
How many
They'll
dab
give you 5
hits should I
That's
do?
a real answer right there. 5.
5 cycles?
5, yeah.
I got cycles. Anybody who needs
From,
them.
from REM to deep and back.
After the show, I'll take you real deep on that REM. You know
Oh, Jesus Christ.
what I'm saying? I got them cycles.
How much does like an app like sleep cycle correlate with like EEG?
With EKG or
I'm sorry,
EEG?
the EEG. Yeah.
So what kind of sleep cycle?
So I'm sorry, the sleep cycle app. So like there's an app that detects if you're moving or not during your sleep.
I don't know how those apps figure out that you're in deep sleep or not.
Literally just if you're moving or not.
Yeah, that's not telling you what's going on in your brain, because that's where it's important.
I think it's the bullshit logarithm that's in each of the apps.
Yeah.
But
So-
if you're moving around, then aren't you not in the deepest sleep?
But if you're not moving, that doesn't mean you're in the deepest sleep
Gotcha.
either.
Yeah.
So
What he's saying is delete that fucking app.
Yeah, don't pay for an upgrade on that one.
maybe if it makes you like feel really good that you're like in the sleep, maybe that's all you
Wait,
need.
It
do
does
you-
make me feel like when I
Yeah.
wake up, you never feel like shit. That's one pro.
So we should all get that out, because that sounds
Seriously,
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
if you have like wiggle room with when you wake up, yeah, you should totally get the app. It's $1 and it's well worth it.
Is this like a pitch now?
I think we just proved it's totally not worth it. It doesn't tell you anything of substance. It just makes you feel better about the fact that you weren't
No,
moving
when you
around.
wake up, you feel good because you're already like in an awake state when it wakes you up. So you're just like, oh.
I feel like you're the science equivalent of the girl that puts the sunglasses post on my Facebook. Like, you know, like you're a little too hot, and like, I friended you, and then all of a sudden there's fucking sunglasses on shit, you know?
Ray-Bans are 20% off. Ray-Bans are 20% off.
She's really attractive.
I feel like what we're talking about is sleep span versus healthy sleep span.
Yeah, bring it back.
God damn it!
Yeah, drop the mic. It's
Try
quality.
for a callback.
It's quality.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
All right.
Let's continue this.
Yeah, comedians. Why do we sleep and why is blue light at night bad?
She's got her hand raised already.
She's not a comedian.
Comedians only.
We sleep. Why do we sleep? Never thought of that. I just go to bed. That's what Mother says. Because I want to use that app in the morning. That's the first thing. That's why I want to. I just can't wait. And why is blue light at night bad? Blue light at... am I asleep during the blue light?
It's before you go to sleep.
Before I go to
Why is blue light before you go to sleep bad?
Is that because there's an intruder in my home shining a blue light in my face?
No.
Other comedians?
It's close though.
Literally nobody knows why we sleep. That's a
bull-
trick
that's
question.
bullshit.
Nobody actually fucking knows why we sleep. But
So
blue
I read his
light
paper.
at night is
I read
bad.
the paper on that, right? You just published that?
Yeah, but blue light at night is bad because it's like a trigger for us, the same way that like UV light coming in the morning is in the sun and all that stuff.
Are you ready to throw this down? Because I know the answer to all this shit. All right, why do we sleep? Because your body needs time to fix its shit. When it's digesting, it's called rest and digest, guys. Parasympathetic, whatever system. And you need your body, if it's like you need to sleep, so your mitochondria or some shit can be like, oh, we need to work on your stomach right now. It was kind of leaky, or your brain is all fucked. Let's fix that. And they pull out little tools. like in that Eddie Murphy movie, was it Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock?
Yeah.
And like, you know, and they're like, let's go to work fixing your shit while you're asleep. And that's why we sleep, so that your body can fix itself.
Disney
that's
movie
And
version.
shut up!
I
I'm
don't
on
think
the
that's
blue light
why.
thing. I'm on a roll. Blue light. The
Can we go back to
sun
mitochondria?
is fucking blue, is it not? Because it's so hot. Did you guys know that the hottest color is fucking blue? I didn't know that shit. That blew my mind. I thought it was red or yellow or
Did it
something.
blew your mind?
It blew my mind. Fuck, shut up. My shit that I just said was so fucking nerd
All
glasses.
right, one, stop explaining to me, and two, nobody actually. I mean, that's a thing that happens when we sleep, but it's not necessarily why. But also, I like mitochondria.
Oh, whatever.
Like it might do something.
I don't know. Your
That
placebos
might
do
be.
something with the amoebas in your body, and it's like
Yeah,
fucking weird.
placebos with amoebas.
All right, audience, yes? Go ahead.
So I'll go the second question first. Why is blue light affect that? Is it because it induces more melatonin into your system, which is harder for you to fall asleep in a deeper sleep if you have a or the opposite.
I'm a sleep
It
expert.
doesn't allow melatonin.
Hermione Granger in the front row is saying it's fucking the opposite here. Harry,
Yes, right here.
So blue light activates relevant and the reason why we sleep is because
All right, Bart. Thanks for cheating on Millhouse's paper. Fucking great job there.
you need another one of those fucking things? You can put his and hers, so you guys can just fucking suck face.
Give the answer where it's at. Can you talk with that thing in your mouth?
What
Let's
do you
hear it.
look
Let's hear the
like?
answer to the first question.
You were
Wait,
so.
let's hear it.
Oh.
Let's hear him talk.
okay, so and the reason why we sleep is because we've got junk that builds up during the day, and when we sleep, it gets evacuated out of the brain.
He looks like the guy I keep in my basement.
You look like exactly how I imagine men's faces look when they talk to me, like dumb shit. Like I just hear rah, 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 rah. Like it's like that, like a fleshlight mouth. Anyways, yeah.
You get a lot of like blue light from like watching TV, but you can cancel that out by watching chicks with big tits work out, because then you're watching blue light, but you're also getting the melatonin.
Oh,
That's the boner dude.
yeah. I like the commitment to that open mic joke that guy just did. Everybody applaud that shit.
Guys, they don't all have to be winners. You just have to be there first, right? Science, publish first, all right? Right? That's what we learned from Darwin.
Let's jump into the answer, Greg.
Who got it right?
So you were right.
Fuck yeah, I was right. Fuck yeah. Suck my dick, science. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Was any of the audience right? Was any of the audience?
So you can decide, but the melatonin is inhibited by blue light. So, you know, we had a little mix-up at the back, and then we had this one. So you guys should decide who gets credit for
You
that
get
answer.
face suckers, all of you.
Who gets credit for that? But I'll give it to the one of the melatonin answers because they were on the right track.
You can wear like blue glasses that like filter out the blue light, but you still get like the rest of the colors when you watch TV.
Right. So they're actually, I think there are apps that you can put on that block the blue light at night. So you
Just watch your porn earlier in the day.
well, or you can wear blue blockers. You know those cool the blue blocker things. So, like you said, a lot of important stuff goes on at night. And it's probably why we sleep. Because stuff
might
can happen
be.
while you sleep, but
It might trigger.
why is it not the reason? Okay, so as you said, your body fixes stuff at night. So kids grow during the night. Growth hormone goes up during the night. Growth hormone goes up so we can repair our bodies at night. Our brains, somebody mentioned that junk builds up during the day and it drains out of the brain. That happens at night. Also, during the day you learn stuff and it's stored in the hippocampus here. At night, it's uploaded to the prefrontal cortex for permanent storage. And that happens during slow wave sleep. So you're talking about the rhythms. If you don't get those low, deep sleep rhythms, you're not going to upload anything you learn to permanent storage, because that happens only during that time. Then finally, you talked about mitochondria.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Mitochondria, that was
I'm
awesome.
like actually really fucking hella smart, guys.
That was awesome.
We believe you.
So also, most of our cells are actually replicating their DNA at night, because that's a time where there's not a lot of oxidative damage around. It's not like you're exercising. So then this is a good time to not have mutations accumulate when the cells are dividing. And then finally, this blue light. So this guy's looking at his blue light. He's probably going to die soon. He's not making melatonin. He's not going to make melatonin for an extra hour after he turns off that light. So here's the rule. If you want to have melatonin while you sleep, turn off your blue lights about 45 minutes before lights out. You got kids? Blue lights off, hour before lights out. Just turn it
So
off.
what are some examples of blue lights?
Your computer screen, your iPhone, your television, any of that stuff. iPhones are really bad because you got them right up to your face, so that blue light's just flooding. And what is melatonin? What is it? It's a hormone. And what does that hormone do? It's an antioxidant. It's like the world's oldest antioxidant. And that's protecting your DNA when it replicates. So why would you want to shut that down?
So what you're saying is an hour before sleep, turn off that blue light and turn on that red light.
Wow, she go, wow, wow.
That's, yeah.
Red lights, brother.
Can I put that in a paper?
Oh,
We can
please.
publish, you can be co-authors.
Boom.
Boom.
All I ever wanted in life was to be cited in a major scientific publication.
But what if I had a thing on dog spotting that goes viral? Like, I need to check that shit, like, right before bed. I got a 3-legged dog this week, and I fucking went over 1,000 K today. Anyways, anybody else on dog spotting? Just me? Fun. All right, whatever.
Okay, what's dog spotting? I'll bite.
Oh, it's just really cute pictures of dogs on Facebook. It's worth losing sleep over. Maybe.
Arguably.
So Greg has done some pretty cool presentations to kids, and when he talks to large audiences of children, he's actually able to teach them about turning their screens off an hour before sleep.
Yeah, and they're like really obsessive about it. And they'll be like, turn off the light and light off an hour before sleep. And then kids will start to ask questions like, well, I've got this little night light in my room, like it's a turtle or, it blasts stars onto the ceiling, and it's blue. Will that keep me up? I don't know. And so like, I just tell the kids, we need to study that. Like, let's do a project to study it. No, for real, no
Let's
kids.
get some funding. Let's get that lemonade
No, for real,
stand out there.
No,
Kickstarter this shit. Let's get that nightlight. Let's do
No, we're
control
gonna
this shit.
write an NIH grant. We're gonna get this thing funded.
Also-
but
We
the
have to learn how to
kids,
spell first, but once we get that down.
kids will take it there. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, okay, I'll turn off the light or whatever, but I've got this blue thing in my room. Like, is that gonna mess me up?
So you're just gonna be like a creepy old dude in that kid's room late at night
With the light.
with the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if any of you have children and you know that Greg's coming to speak at their school, make sure your kid is sick that day because he's going to turn them into light Nazis. You don't want that around your house.
I like to say light fascists.
Okay. All right.
It's too soon. Like,
Question?
Yeah, okay, so I have a question. I have an iPhone, and there's a setting on it that can, it's like an automatic setting that's not recently, that can turn the blue light off, I think, and have a different chemical light. Does that help?
Awesome. No, I guess that's probably gonna help.
Okay.
You should do it without that, and then use your actigraphy and measure your sleep, and then do it with it.
Guys,
And do a little like home experiment.
Homes?
With that.
when I got invited to do this show, I didn't know there'd be product placement.
There is. We have a couple here
yeah,
in
a
the front
couple
row.
of big app.
I don't use that anymore.
Ah.
That's what they
There's a-
tell you to tell us. Like.
There's a hand.
Yes.
Is using like iPhone computer in darkness before sleeping worse? Or
That's pretty bad.
does it?
Yeah, that's awful.
Do you?
Horrible.
So I need
No,
to-
it's just any blue light, but the phones are bad because you gotta like, get them close. At least the TV can be kind of over there, but the phone's blasting you right there, and it basically shuts off the neurons that are, starting to produce all of your melatonin.
Yeah, my question, a little bit here. Is it better to use those electronics like with other lights on, or?
With other lights on.
Or in total darkness?
I think it's bad either way. I don't know if the other light is like diluting it or not. I'm not sure.
More lights to your restful sleep.
We could add that to our kids' NIH grant, and see
Sam,
the night light and all
since
that
you're
stuff.
the really
I'm not
totally smart one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we got another question.
Any studies let us know how much healthier we'll be, how much longer we'll live? If we turn on the echoes, turn off the TV, asking the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
Well, old people don't really use those yet, so we don't, they're a really poor study group, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we know that it has this effect on melatonin and stuff, and we know that sleep is good. So, but that's basically extending that to, am I going to live longer or not get cancer or whatever? Those are studies that need to be done. So, sorry.
All right,
I'll say I don't know,
let's,
but I don't know.
Let's move on to the next question. All right, great. So,
What is this?
what is the best predictor of health and lifespan, comedians?
Not pursuing comedy, that would be number one.
Yeah.
True, every comedian I have ever known has died or will die.
I think there was a study recently
Just
that
saying.
comedians don't live as long. Okay, I left the
That was
silence
really-
there.
Was that a children's fest?
Enjoy us
No,
while you
yeah.
can, is what he's saying.
What is the best predictor of health and lifespan? Beyond my homie Greg right here. I just gotta take you everywhere and say, can I look at my phone now? Can I not? Can I do this now? Can I not? You just give me thumbs up and thumbs down.
Whenever it's appropriate.
Okay, great.
I
All right,
know.
I think I'm set.
I know.
Do you know this?
Yeah, I do know this. I think I
his
know
turn.
this. What?
What's his turn?
Oh, I thought we were all just fucking around. Oh, we're doing turns?
This is for real.
Oh, okay.
This is for all the...
This is too much, man.
All right, sorry. You go.
I'll go. I think it's actually your genetic inheritance. I think it's the people who lived before you and whether or not they lived a good long time.
That's a good one, but we're looking for something else.
Ooh, burn.
Sorry, but that is a good one.
I feel so bad right now, you guys.
I listened to this like really hippie podcast one time, and it told me that the best predictor of health and lifespan was 1, community, 2, self-love, and then 3, diet. But I was heard a sense of no. You're not into it? Do you want a hug though? All right, no? All right.
Check it out.
It's not, was it genetics?
That's a good answer, but we're looking for something else here. Something that we can all measure and improve if we need to. You can't really change your genetics.
Okay, let's go up here. Go ahead.
First initial of your first name, first initial of your last name.
Oh, that's good. And the street you lived on as a kid. It's the best predictor you'll be a long-living porn star.
Yes?
Muscle mass.
Nope.
Yes?
Sex, sleep, and exercise?
Nope. I'm starting to give some hints right now.
How about the size of your waist?
How slow do you walk? Walking?
Can we just go down in front to...
Like 20 minutes a day walking? No, how slow you
What's
walk?
your answer?
Length of telomeres.
No.
What's it telling me?
Okay, let's go up there.
It's the end of your DNA. It unwraps.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Steps per day?
That's a good one. Should we call it off? Yeah, let's give her Eureka.
Eureka!
It's actually it's your normal walking speed.
What?
How fast you normally walk is the strongest predictor of how long you're going to live and how healthy you're going to be when you get older.
I can see a look of death in Ron's eyes right now. This dude strolls.
What?
For real.
All right, and the explanation.
So here's the world's largest study on walking speed and how long people live. And notice the age ranger. So it starts at 60. Okay, so it's 65 to 95. So basically, if you're 65 and you walk a meter per second, you're likely to live 25 more years. If you walk 1.5 to 1.6 meters per second, you're going to live 40 more years. Everybody right here has a 50% chance of making it to 100 years just because they walked this fast.
Oh hell, I walk hella fast. This is
All right,
awesome.
first things first.
I walk fast, that's anxiety.
First things first. What's a meter?
It's a unit of measurement.
Great. I thought it was
Around
a
3.3
funky band.
feet, yeah.
All right.
I like the reggae colors on the graph though.
Yeah, I can't take credit for those. But so you think about this, like, so what's the big deal between like 1 and 1.2? You know, that's 5 years, you know, whatever. But actually, some of these things become meaningful because this can be the difference between making it across Geary or not. No, I'm not kidding. Like, you know, for an elderly person, this can be life or death. Like, at some point when you don't walk fast enough.
Crosswalk speed.
Yeah, no, for real. So, but yeah, this is, of everything we've measured, telomeres and all this stuff, this is the strongest predictor of how long you're going to live.
You know what? I call bullshit on this because
Why?
I've been to downtown Chinatown and those ladies fucking walk slow as fuck across that street. They're fucking older than shit, dude.
Greg, let's go up here actually.
Okay, sorry, I can't see back there, so it's okay.
Is there a bias towards tall people with
No,
like
we adjust for height and body mass and all
Cut
this
off
stuff.
the
That
legs.
was,
Yeah, they do the actual math.
And then let's keep going up. Go ahead.
How much of that is like correlation between, like the same thing, like, what was it, witches to pirates on Earth? Or something like that, like
Witches
they
to
just-
pirates?
I don't know, but you're talking my language. Go on.
You had less witches because of the witch hunts in it, but you had less pirates too, so like there's a correlation, right? So.
I think he's on a drug to forget his
No, I'm
sleep.
dead serious.
Dude, I'm all ears.
Yeah, correlation versus
Yeah,
causation.
that's a weird
Yeah.
correlation.
all right.
But I like
So-
the pirates.
So we measured how fast people walked, and we measured how long they lived after that. So this walking speed preceded the outcome.
How fast does a witch walk versus a pirate?
No,
He's pretty like he's
seriously.
kinda fucked, right? Like,
No, but we're, you know, in our analyses, we really take a lot of things into account, and we're pretty sure that this is, we're very sure this is predictive of the outcome. Now, what this is actually measuring is a different question. Is it measuring brain health, heart health, lung health, muscle health, neuromuscular connections? It's measuring all those things. So you can't break it down to one component. This is a very simple measure of lots of things that can tell us a lot about how healthy you are.
I'm good to go, because I walk.
Oh,
Let's head up here.
One question, so I'm 35, how fast do I walk?
we're gonna have a walking.
Well, we don't have you on the scale here, but just walk fast. Walk faster than these people, for sure, because they're 65. So get this number and walk faster than that. So sorry.
This is bullshit. Whales live like 200 years.
But they do have hip bones.
All right, let's go here.
So, I feel like if you just told someone walk faster, I don't think that's what this is. I think, like you're saying, it's more of a measure of like, if you're walking 0.2 at 65, you've probably already got a bunch of health issues, right?
Right.
So
So
it's not like you can just tell that person to walk faster.
no. So that's an elegant comment about this whole thing here. And so when we do these analyses, we take into account these people's health. So if somebody down here has a bunch of diseases and the people up here don't, well, that would be driving this whole thing. But in our
And they
analyses,
wouldn't get any sex in the old people's home. They had a bunch of diseases and the other people didn't, right?
like what he said.
Yeah.
And so we take that into account so with the analyses. So as much as possible, we try and make all these people the same in all ways except for the walking speed. So those are all covariates in our analysis.
So if you did go to like an elderly, like an old folks home, and you just told everyone, hey, walk faster, and they didn't walk anymore, but they just walked faster, would that actually make them live longer?
Well, so you can get people to walk faster, but nobody's done the study to see if those people live longer, because then we're going to do a study where we're going to take a bunch of slow people and say, you walk faster, you don't walk faster, and we're going to see who dies first. Like, that's not
the Hunger Games?
It's not very ethical. Like, it's hard to get that through an IRB review.
If I saw an old lady crossing the street really slowly and I pushed her, am I like saving her life?
Yeah, but you should like show the study to her. Maybe
Okay, I'll show the study, then start pushing.
Motivate her
Tell her
to
science
do
guy
that.
told her she'd get past Erie if she was here.
I will whisper that in her
Especially
ear.
with like the 3 games.
I can't help but be just a little bit skeptical. These data are so nicely going toward a particular trend. We have data points, a note legend, and so
This is whoa. So this is published in JAMA, so just to let you know. And this is based on close to 50,000 participants. So these huge sample sizes can actually give you these really nice trends.
Okay.
These aren't like 12 people in this study. I would never do that to you. I would never do that to you. This is real science.
I think.
How big was the sample size for this study?
It was like close to 50,000.
Wow,
It's a bunch of different studies put together. So it's not like we went out and found 50,000 people and clocked them.
Yeah.
These are all independent studies that did this separately, and then we put them all together. So this was vetted, across multiple studies.
Actigraphy or not?
Some of these studies have actigraphy, but this is a timed walking speed. So people come into the clinic, they say, okay, walk from here to there, and we'll time you, and so that's one of the things that's measured.
And one of the problems that you've experienced is that the National Institute of Health doesn't fund enough money for this type of research, because if you could get people under the age of 65 to start walking at age 25, if we could start recording their walking speed and see what their health outcomes are, see how long they live.
Sure. So, all right. So, 2 minutes on the politics. So there are all these agencies that fund, heart disease and cancer and lung disease and all this stuff. There's one for aging. And aging gets a very small budget and doesn't get a whole lot of respect. But what happens is, if you were to eliminate cancer or heart disease tomorrow, life expectancy would increase by about 4 years on average. And that doesn't mean people become healthier. They just live a little bit longer and get the next thing, dementia or whatever it is. So aging, we try to understand all those things, because age is the single strongest predictor of all the things that happen when we get old. Osteoporosis, cancer, heart disease, lung disease, dementia, all this stuff. So if you can understand aging, you can affect all those at once. All right, sorry about that, but that's where we are.
Do the other institutes bully you when you go to conferences?
No, they don't.
Samantha will be there to back you up.
Nerds.
They don't have to, because they've already got the huge budget.
Oh, really? Like the fucking sports science people are just like giving you wedgies in the locker room? Like fucking,
because people die of something, right? So my grandma had cancer, or my aunt had heart disease. So like, you want to fix that thing. You don't say like, oh, they died of aging. Although,
slow walking.
yeah, the slow walking, like, oh, they didn't make it across Erie or whatever. Nobody's going to fund you for that.
Slow walking for years.
But if you give me all your money, we'll fix all those things.
I feel like this whole, alright, can I just call bullshit a little bit?
Yeah,
Maybe
go for it, go for it.
Alright, you want me to run a fucking marathon
No.
when I'm 70, and now you're telling me to walk? I feel like you're like some sort of marathon conspiracy theorist. I feel like there's like very
Big marathon.
It's big marathon money. You know that it's big marathon money.
I'm with you,
Exactly
Sam.
right.
I've been a little contentious, but I'm totally with you. And I also think we just need longer lights at Geary. I think that's.
And also maybe a different voice telling us to walk. That guy's sounding like walk.
What if you told everyone else to walk more slowly around you?
Yeah,
so
walk
you appear to walk
slowly.
fast?
And blue traffic lights, so they wake up.
Yeah, blue traffic lights. We're fucking solving problems
We're
tonight.
solving this right now.
How do I get government funding?
This is our kumbaya moment, audience.
He's rolling his eyes. But
All right, we are going to move on to the next one. So, comedians, what is Harahachi-bu?
I think I just ate that recently.
I just caught one of those
Yeah.
playing Pokemon Go.
There it is. Give him a fleshlight face thing just for that fucking Pokemon Go rap.
We're all waiting.
Okay,
We're all waiting
today,
for it.
I'm a comedian on Facebook. That is the only Pokemon Go joke I have made or probably will make.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
Congrats.
Yes.
You're
Well
welcome.
put. Yo, I have to follow that Pokemon Go, Joe?
Any idea what Star Hachi means? You think you just ate it yesterday?
Hara, Hachi, Boo. Is that what, did I just like insult somebody in another language? No? Okay.
Alright, does the audience have any idea?
Wait, I didn't get to answer what Harahachibu is, because I don't fucking know. I don't actually. It sounds Harahachibu. It's Japanese in origin, and they live fucking long, right? Like, is it yeah? Okay, so it's like, is it their like thing for living long? I know there's like a thing of like eating 20 different colors a day. No? Okay, walking really fucking fast, having orders to food, back to food. Food. It's a sushi. It's a fucking Iron Chef sushi dish. Am I right?
Does it have anything to do with Harajuku?
I don't know, it's no, Harahachibu.
Yes, up here,
related.
Audience, yes.
That sounds like I want to just be like Harahachi.
Any other ideas? Yes?
It's the Japanese concept of only eating until 80% of your fullness.
Eureka!
Oh, yeah, we were on that.
You know what? Can I just say?
Yeah,
I've been watching you, and you did not let me down. You didn't let me down. Thank you.
That's exactly it. So it's a saying Okinawans have. This is actually in Okinawa where they say, leave the table when you're 80% full.
Isn't that also just another way of saying waste 20% of your food? Yeah.
Take
So
it up and down.
okay, you live long,
Take it
and
up
then
with
all
Okinawans,
these,
yeah.
Or only order 80% of what you're going to eat.
Or only take 80%.
Take 80%.
Take 80%.
Just don't eat too much. Just eat family style, bro.
So I can eat like 20% of your food.
I'm actually
You can't
really
eat my
fascinated. Just time out from being fucking hilarious right now. I'm actually really interested in this because they've talked about how fasting leads to longevity and how it so much is tied to what we eat. And I've just started fasting personally on a regular basis, and I think it makes a lot of sense because digestion takes a lot of fucking work for the body to do. So that's my bitches. Yeah.
Well, this comes back to the exercise thing when you're fasted, because you preferentially burn fat over other things when you're fasted. But also people have been starving animals in labs for a long time.
Oh, great.
And the animals live longer, and they look awesome, but they're mean as hell.
All right.
No downside.
No.
They're all hangry.
They're all hangry. So we're trying to figure out though, or what people who study that, I don't study this, but people who study this are trying to figure out is how we can do it as humans who need to not be hangry and interact in society and drive cars and not freak out. And there are these trends now where you fast 2 days a week and eat 5 days a week. There are all these different iterations of it, but we know that fasting turns on all these metabolic processes that fix your mitochondria, clear out the cells and all this, Yes?
But I thought these were all in animal studies and they actually haven't done this with humans.
Oh my god.
So there are, actually in humans, when they've done these studies, they've improved glycemic control. Losing weight actually extends lifespan in some people. So in humans, you're not going to do a longevity study because none of us are going to live long enough to see the outcome of a trial like that. But you can improve a lot of physiologic measures by doing caloric restriction.
It's like pro-bulimia.
What?
Like eating disorders. You gotta throw up the food. No, you're not feeling that? Thought maybe I was a twist there.
So Okinawans also, they eat a lot of yams. And so they tend to be smaller, but they're very active. So they have a kind of a rural farming lifestyle. And so I don't know how fast they go. We should go there and check it out. But another thing they have that helps them live longer is they have this concept called ikigai, which is a reason to live. So each person has to have a personal reason to live. And so I know guys who actually study these people. There are these twins from Canada who study Okinawans. And so one of the stories I heard about these Okinawans is there's this 100-year-old guy, and his ikigai was that he had this book of sex positions. And he wanted to do every one twice in his life. Not just once, but
And
twice.
that was his goal.
That was his ikigai. So
Gotta
he was
catch
gonna
'em all.
live.
Right.
He was gonna live until he did all
He had to
those
like
twice.
wax on, wax off.
But whatever it is, so you've got to
Get the wax
No,
that
for real. I mean, I'm not, you know,
Did
just
you
saying.
fast during those positions? I'd I like to eat.
Another interesting conversation about Okinawans is that the older Okinawans